Chanel, a name that echoes through the halls of luxury, elegance, and power. But behind the glamour lies a story darker than the finest black silk. Coco Chanel went from an orphan with nothing but a needle and a thread to one of the world's most powerful women. Her vision changed fashion forever. Through surviving 2 world wars to her controversial ties to the Nazis, Chanel's story is filled with betrayal, scandal, and untold truths. This is the ruthless, shocking journey of the woman behind Chanel, the woman who built an empire and risked losing everything along the way. Born in 1883, Gabrielle Chanel's early years were marked by hardship. Her father, a traveling salesman, abandoned the family when she was just 12, and her mother, a laundress, passed away shortly after. At the age of 12, Gabrielle was sent to Oster-op-Bazin Abbey, a convent orphanage. There, under the watchful eyes of the nuns, Chanel learned the discipline and resourcefulness that would shape her future. And most importantly, she learned to sew. This skill would become the thread that connected her humble beginnings to her future as a fashion icon. Though the conditions were harsh, with cold dormitories and little room for tenderness, Gabrielle's time at the convent instilled in her a resilience that defined her life. It was here, away from the comforts of family and wealth, that she found the strength to forge her own path. At the age of 18, Gabrielle left the orphanage, stepping into the unknown. The world outside was vast and uncertain, but with only her determination and the sewing skills she'd honed, she was ready to begin her journey. This moment marked the first step in a life that would see her rise from orphan to one of the most influential women in the fashion history. Chanel's journey to becoming a fashion icon didn't happen overnight. At 20, she took a job as a seamstress, but rather than simply learning the ropes, she sought every opportunity to hone her craft and rise above her humble circumstances. The world of fashion may have seemed distant from her beginnings, but Chanel wasn't content to remain in the background. To support herself, she began singing in cabarets. It was in one of these clubs that she met Etienne Balsan, a wealthy polo player who introduced her to Parisian high society. Living with Balsan in his lavish chateau, Chanel was exposed to luxury and privilege, but she quickly grew frustrated with the fashion world's constraints. Women were still bound by corset and overly ornate dresses, designed more for decoration than comfort. Chanel's mind, however, began to work differently. She envisioned a new kind of fashion, one that was not only chic and elegant, but comfortable too. Balsan's influence on Chanel was significant, but it was his connection that would prove invaluable. It was during this period that she met Arthur Capel, an Englishman who not only supported her emotionally, but also believed in her potential. Capel's backing enabled Chanel to open her first shop in Paris in 1910, focusing on hats. This partnership set her on a path that would forever change the fashion world. At high society events, Chanel made a bold statement by wearing a man's tailored suit instead of a frilly dress. It was unconventional, shocking, and the perfect introduction to her new vision of fashion. Chanel wasn't satisfied with merely making hats. She had bigger dreams. In 1913, she opened a boutique in Deauville and launched her first collection of ready-to-wear clothes made from jersey fabric, a material once reserved for men's underwear.